Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys a video about the time that my professor took us to go with him to pick up a Genie lamp, and we got robbed for it. And I still don't know where it's at to this day. Like, my professor, he ain't never talked to us about it no more. He did let us know that he wasn't able to find it or whatever, or he wasn't able to get it back. So he just told the person that we was going to get it for what happened, and that was that. Okay, so Professor R is my mythology professor. Professor R, well, he was my mythology professor. Okay. I have a couple of other students that I always talk about that was in the class with me when I was taking mythology and folklore with Professor R, but they are definitely in this video today. Okay, that's for all the people that have not seen any other videos, okay? So, if all of the videos that have Professor in the title is about Professor R, okay? So, it was me, Professor R, and a couple of my classmates, Candace and B, and this other girl, Kim. She came with us. We'll just call her Kim, and she was cool or whatever. She was always nice to us and stuff like that. So Professor R really enjoyed, all of our company and stuff like that when he had to go do stuff. So he didn't pay us all the time. And when he did pay us, it was just the smallest, littlest amount of money. Professor R did not want to pay us for real. And because he knew that we wanted to go with him anyways. Okay. And so we wasn't getting paid for doing this. We was just going along the adventure because who don't want to see a Genie lamp? Who? So if somebody call your phone and ask you, do you want to see a Genie lamp? Is you going to say yes or no? So I'm the type of person that will say yes. So that's how I got wrapped up in this whole craziness that's about to happen in this video. Okay, so Professor R, he calls my phone and he tells me that him, B, Candace, and Kim is trying to go a few states over so that way they can get this Genie lamp and pick it up. And he was talking to me about how he was supposed to been getting a hefty amount of money for it, and he wanted to trade it off and blah 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 and all this kind of stuff or whatever. Okay, and so he of course was asking me could I drive. He always asked me to drive. Just about every video that I have on Professor R, I was driving. Okay, and so I didn't mind driving or whatever, and so I had told Professor R, yeah, I'll go on ahead and drive or whatever. And so everybody pack up, everybody ready to go get the Genie lamp. Professor R, he is on the phone talking to the people, telling them that he's on his way to go get the lamp, and he's also contacting the other people, telling them that he's on his way to get the lamp too as well, so they can know like that Professor R is on his way, So we're not gonna be there in no couple of hours because I have to drive a few states over. So we'll be there when we be there. Okay, they just need to know that we're on our way. And so Professor R, he has me, he gives me the address. I put it into the phone. We get to driving. Okay, so everybody's happy. Everybody got their food. Everybody got their blankets. Their headphones, their phones, whatever they need to keep themselves company. And plus, everybody was keeping each other company because everybody liked each other. We was all friends. We was all cool with each other, And so everybody was keeping each other company too. And B is one of the students that's in just about every single Professor R video too. B has a personality. Okay, so he will create some mess, and he was kind of like creating some type of scenario conversation with Kim, and the whole vehicle was involved in it. Okay, and so we were having a good time. So we rode a few states over, everything, and we get to this extremely small town. Okay, it was very, very, very small town. Okay, and everything in this town was beautiful. It was vintage. It looked like somewhere where it's not somewhere where you would raise children. It's not somewhere where you would have like a family, like a large family or anything like that. It's a small town that you would have, like if you're middle age and you don't have any kids or small kids, or you don't have a lot of family and you're just married to someone, or you're just coupling with someone, it's a good place to move to. Like it has a lot of antique shops, it has a lot of vintage shops. It's like for eccentric middle-aged people. This small town was full of eccentric middle-aged people, and that's exactly who it was made for. Okay, the type of shops, the type of food places, the type of people that we saw, everything matched middle-aged eccentric couples, eccentric people. It was couple friendly, but middle-aged. Okay, so we everything was beautiful, everything was vintage, everything was, well, it wasn't vintage in a way where it was almost like a cosplay of a place. No, it was like a Victorian build on smaller homes. Okay, um the roads were beautiful, it was a very clean town, a very clean place. So we arrived at nighttime, and when we got there, we had, okay, let me back it up. We arrived at nighttime, and when we got there, we had already gotten us a hotel room. We had already gotten us all the stuff that we had needed before we drove to this little small antique shop in this vintage place. Okay, in this vintage town. Okay, so we didn't have all of our stuff bundled on us, and we weren't groggily or anything. We did have a moment to freshen up and get ourselves together and stuff like that. Okay, and so we arrived to this place, and it's very small, extremely small. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So we arrive at this place. It's extremely small, in an extremely small town, and now we feel like we're in a Stephen King movie. It's fall, it's crisp, it's cool outside. Did we open the door and a little bell rings? It's so cute in there. They have all of these little antique stuff, and it's just very nice. So this lady, she comes from the back, and she's smiling when she sees Professor R. She already knows him, and they're getting along. They're having a great time talking. And then she pulls out a case, and I guess the lamp, but we all know that the lamp is in the case. So we want to see it. We want to see it. Okay, so she opened the case and she showed it to Professor R. She told him make sure he doesn't touch it until, just like make sure you get it to the owner, and that's it. Like, don't touch it, don't take it out the case, don't do anything to it, protect it. And this thing cost a lot of money because Professor R didn't hand her a wad of cash, he handed her a suitcase. Okay, so it cost a lot of money. Okay, and she was pleased, she was happy. She told Professor R goodbye, she gave us macaroons, we were happy, and we left. Okay, so we leaving, and it's a mysterious black truck parked across the street from our car. We do not think nothing about it because we have never been to this town before, so we don't know whose black truck that is, so we just keep it pushing. We get in the car. Of course, I'm the driver, so I notice that the black truck is behind us when I pull out to, begin to drive toward the hotel room. And I tell Professor R, I'm like, Professor R, the same truck that was across the street from the antique shop is behind us. It's behind us. And this is a very small town, so it's not a lot of cars on the road. It's no traffic. People are walking. People are riding bikes. People are going for evening walks. It's autumn. They're going on dates. It's a happy day. Okay. So it's not a lot of traffic. It's matter of fact, there is no traffic because it's not enough people in the town for it to have like backed up traffic like that. Okay. And so I'm looking dead at this truck just following us. Okay. So he says, don't go back to the hotel room. Don't go back to the hotel room. So I was like, okay, where do you want to go? And so he tells me to pull to one of the restaurants so we can check them out and see what kind of food they have while we're being followed. At least we can do some tourist stuff. So we decided to go to this restaurant. It was a nice restaurant. It was. Their food was good. And I mean, even though it was different and I wasn't used to eating that kind of food, I was down for it. Everyone else enjoyed their food too as well. And we had a good time. But the whole time we was there, the mysterious black truck was there too as well. Nobody got out of it. Nobody came in. Nobody. So Professor R has the lamp. Yes, he has it at the table with us while we're in the restaurant. He doesn't want to leave it in the car. He's paid all of this money for it. He has to guard it, so he brings it in with us. So he thought that the black truck was going to leave, and they didn't. So we had no choice but to leave in front of the black truck. And so he told me to lose them. And I was like, I can't do that. So B said that he would drive. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. B drove around those people's town. And I do mean those people because those were nice, good, beautiful people. I love that town. I wanna go to that town, and I am not middle-aged or married. I do. I enjoy the company of that town. B drove through that town like a fool, trying to get rid of that truck. And he did. He eventually got rid of it. He did. And so he drove, like he booked it back to the hotel room since we had lost the truck, because we figured that the truck would know exactly which hotel that we had booked if it wasn't following us back there. Okay, because it was a few hotels. Okay, it wasn't just one or two. All right, I'm sorry about that noise. I have no idea what that is. Okay, I don't know. So we get out, and Professor R, he's like booking it toward the hotel, and he's like running. He has the case, and everyone else is like running behind Professor R, running, and we hurry up, and we're trying to get up to our floor where he had booked the rooms to, so we can all just get in the room safely, because me and Candace had a room, and then him and me, Candace, and Kim had a room, and him and B had a room together. Okay, and so he's like, we're running full speed. When we got upstairs and we stepped off the elevator, it was somebody that was standing down there by our rooms. Yes, oh my God. And Professor I was like, and he pushed us like back into the elevator, and we were all like scared. And so he pressed another floor, and he was like, we're gonna walk down on the stairs, and we're gonna sneak past this guy, or we're gonna figure it out. And who is this, and what's going on? And Professor R has ops. Okay, Professor R has ops. Okay, Professor R, his two main ops is Professor Dean and Lenny. Okay, Lenny is not a professor, he is a wizard. I know, Professor R's life is something else, honey. I can't believe that I met him. But Professor R, he's like, we're gonna take the stairs, and we're gonna go down, and we're gonna sneak past this guy. And so we get off on the next floor, and Professor R, we're just like sneaking down the stairs like the Pink Panther, and Professor R is like clutching the little case that the lamp is in, and we're breathing hard and sweating and everything, because at this point we're scared. Okay, and so we open up the stairwell door, and the guy, he's still just standing there. So Professor R, he's like peeking and then closing the door back, and peeking and closing the door back. But this is a very nice hotel, so you can't hear like the door opening and closing. The doors are very new, and I mean, the guy, he's not paying that much attention because he's expecting for us to come off of the elevator. So eventually he walks away. And we were able to get in our rooms. Okay, so we spend the night, everybody's happy. Professor R, he is done, forgot about the craziness from last night. We all have, we're walking out to our car. Tell me why. The man from the day before, Professor R was about to open up the car door and he slammed the car door. Yes, he slammed the car door and grabbed onto the case. And Professor R started going wild. Let it go. Let it go. He started screaming. B was squaring up with the guy, and the guy was like holding on to the case and like half squaring up with B. So B starts like punching the guy and like trying to take him out, but the guy is like taking every single hit like it's nothing. And so B is like a big guy. He's not a small guy. And so I'm surprised this guy like was able to take B's hits like that, because they look like they hurt really, really bad. So we're screaming, we're trying to get him to let go of the suitcase, and he finally gets it out of Professor R's grip. Now Professor R is like 57 at the time. So of course he got it out of Professor R's grip. Okay. He's slim, he's small, he is not really the biggest guy. Okay, his hands aren't the biggest, all right? And so the guy books it, he starts running. So B, he's chasing after him full speed. This guy is like running full speed. So Professor R, get in the car, get in the car. And so we jump in the car with Professor R, and he's like hunting the man down, trying to like find where him and B had ran through to. And Professor R is like looking through the alleys, and then we finally see B. B is running down the street full speed the opposite way, looking absolutely terrified. And Professor R is like, "Where's the case? Where's the case?" He said, "The case, the case." He kept running toward the car. So Professor R was like, "What happened? What happened?" And B, he like dove into the car. He dove into the car like the door was already open for him. And so Professor R was asking B like, "What happened? What happened?" And B was like, "He opened the case. He opened the case. I can't explain what happened. I can't explain." Professor R was like, "What happened?" He was like, "It was a whole bunch of smoke. It was a whole bunch of smoke. I thought that he caught on fire, or I thought maybe it was like a firecracker in there, or it was something, because it was a whole bunch of smoke." He said it was like the smoke that be at like the magic shows, like, you know, when they go poof and they poof away, or like on Wizard of Oz when the Wicked Witch was like poofing herself away, and all of that green smoke was always around her, like in the original one. Ooh, excuse me. He said it was like that, like it was thick like that, like, you know, the performance smoke that people be having. He said it was thick, but it didn't have no color on it. So he just ran the opposite way. He said he don't know what happened to the guy. He looked back, he didn't see absolutely anything, but he was like, "No, I was not." He opened the case at B, like he opened it like it was gonna get him or whatever. So he turned around and ran the other way. So he said that he saw smoke. He didn't see anything else. He said that he thought maybe it was a firecracker, maybe something else happened. He didn't know, like maybe it was something that was on the case. Like, you know, when people steal money, sometimes that ink comes out on them. He was like, "I don't know if it was like a theft protection, or if it was the dang on genie. I don't know what it was." But we never got the lamp back. Nope, we never got the genie lamp back. The last time anyone seen the genie lamp was B, and that's when it was smoking inside of the case. So when the guy opened up the case and turned around while B was chasing him, it was like he had stopped in the middle of B chasing him, and he opened up the case, and then poof, a whole bunch of smoke came out. So B started running the opposite way, because he was like, this is too supernatural for me. I don't even believe in this mess. I came with Professor R so I can get out the house. And so that's always what B says. B is never believes anything that has anything to do with Professor R. None of the gargoyles, none of the genie lamps, none of the ghost stories, nothing. Okay. Although he did wound up being Professor R's apprentice after we were completely done with school and completely done with Professor R's class. So he must believe something, or either he's still trying to figure out how to believe, or he just loved Professor R. Okay. But yeah, they stole the lamp, they stole the case, and we was trying to beat him up to get it back, but we couldn't. And he had a grip on it, which is, I mean, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I know that I didn't do any damage in the situation. I probably did way more screaming than anything. And Kim too. Candace, she's definitely going to run and get in the car. She's not going to do anything. She's always been like that. And B was the hero. He tried, he tried to get it back, but once it started smoking at him, he said that he was thinking about all the stuff that he had heard Professor R say, because Professor R loves to tell us that there's a good and evil to everything, especially after the Wizards duel with Lenny. He always said it even more. And so Professor R just like describes everything mythological as its evil side before he describes it as his good side. So people don't go trying to like pick in and deal with stuff that they have no business with. So he did describe like genies to us and Jan and stuff like that as like more so of on the dark side than the light side first. Like he didn't start explaining the light side to stuff after until way later, after he had already explained the dark side. So B was completely terrified, completely scared, completely shook up. He was just happy that none of the smoke had got on him because he was already scared. Oh, excuse me. I am sleepy. I'm so sorry. It's late. But yeah. So comment below what you think that smoke was. We still don't know to this day. B said he's just not gonna speak on it because he don't want nobody to call him crazy. He said the only reason why we believed him is because of Professor R. If he had told anybody else, nobody would have believed him. And the fact that the guy was completely vanished after he ran and turned back around to see like if the smoke was still coming after him, and the guy was just like completely gone, completely vanished, people would just not believe him. He said. So that is another story that I had about Professor R. I have so many, okay, because I was taking Mythology and Folklore 1, Mythology and Folklore 2. I took Mythology and Folklore during the summer. So I have a lot of content that has something to do with Professor R. But as I always tell you guys, I don't know if my next video is going to be about him or not because I have so many videos, okay? I have so many stories. I have so many things to tell you guys that have happened to me over the years, and it's just fun. It's just fun sitting here just making these videos and just talking to you guys, okay? So I'll see you tomorrow.